Montreal has been built on the shoulders of its manufacturers, and what the city makes is part of what makes the city so great. And if you want to explore this city through the lens of manufacturing, the best place to start is Chabanel, the heart of Montreal's historic garment industry. Our exploration of this fascinating district comes with the help of 3 successful entrepreneurs. They have all survived and thrived in Montreal's ever-changing economic environment. A hat maker,
A lot of people now celebrities on the side.
a button maker, and Montreal's knitwear king. A Brooklyn boy with serious business savvy, Isaac Cooperstein settled in Montreal in 1967. Having grown up around his father's hat-making business, he started out in Montreal as a sewer, working in factories for a meager $1.25 an hour. Within 5 years, this spirited entrepreneur had started his own company, which, over the years, became Ideal Knitwear. Nearly 50 years on, Isaac has experienced the migration of his industry from the storefronts of Saint Laurent Boulevard to its latest incarnation in Chabanel.
1967, Montreal looked like a small town against New York. But I still liked the quietness here and the atmosphere, but I wanted to stay here. So I told my parents I'm staying here, and what will I do? I don't know yet. So I came here, I got married. I went, after 6 months, I think, there was no diamond setting, so I called up a cap factory, and that time was the Expo, 67 Expo. I always spoke to my parents, my father, what's next? What do I do next? Yeah. So I decided I'll make kippahs for bar mitzvahs and weddings. Right. There's no factory here in Canada. Everything is in New York, and everybody brings it here. So I made a factory. I set up machines and cutting, and I was call it the king of the kippahs in Canada. This is done for the post office. Mm-hmm. This is a balaclava where they wear in the winter time, and this is a one hole to cover to have open the eyes only.
That's
Want to try it? Try it on.
Yeah.
See how it looks.
This is for the post office?
Postmen, yeah, postmen all over Canada. Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, postal?
Yeah, you look great.
No bank robbery, though?
No, you can't because your eyes are too open. Okay? I have to tell you, I mean, what I remember Chabanel, lunchtime, the amount of people that came out from the buildings was massive.
It was a flood.
A flood. The restaurant, every building had a restaurant. People were waiting in line to get a seat or food or whatever. But you saw people like from every building, and now no more.
A lot less.
Even a hardware store. You had hardware stores here. People needed something, sewing machine supplies. Everything was under your hand, so you didn't have to run around who knows where. Okay, this is most probably my first machine that I had from 1969, and it's still working. It's still running the way when I bought it. Sometimes you have to fix a part, but if you notice, you can see how it works. So when this lifts up, it changes one color to the other, and
this goes up and down.
This goes up. Okay.
It's these
See
guys.
this? It touches here, goes here, and
Got it.
this comes out.
Yeah.
And it changes the color, and that's the way it works.
How many socks can it make in an hour?
Depends the size, but an adult size it would make 5-6 pair an hour, not more, because it's slow. It's very slow. It's, how should I say? It runs fast, but only. See what happened now? See, it broke.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
So it stops automatic. It has a stop motion, and it makes sure that it stops, so it shouldn't break the machine. See what happened? See, I didn't look. It finished the cone finish.
Oh, okay.
So he was normally he sees that he puts on another cone already before, so it goes from one to the other.
We got in his way.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
We employ knitters, sewers, packers, and all kinds of people. Anybody that wants to work. And also, we have from every country in the world. We have people here.
What kind of wages can somebody earn?
Well, we start with the minimum in the packing, and we go up all the time a little bit more. But in the sewing, I have people that make $15 to $17 an hour. Okay, so that's nice, a nice salary. Yeah, but some of them work piecework. So the more they do, they make more.
So can you tell me about
Okay,
this?
this is to put on pom-poms and hats. You see now this brown hats.
Yeah.
Okay, this has no pom-poms here, and this is the way we glue on the pom-poms. We have a special glue to put them on, and they stick and they never come off.
Ha.
Okay, and we go around like this. The girl goes around and she puts on each one. As she comes back, it's dry and she can take them off.
How long does it take to dry?
Few seconds.
Few seconds.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for your pom-pom machine?
Not really.
No. The
Homemade machine.
The homemade machine. So
Okay, just to let you know, this is a scarf
yeah,
that we do for a hockey team in Ontario, California.
Ontario, California.
That's right. And we do 1,500, and they're going to give it out for the first game. The way it looks is that's their color combination. This is their color teams.
Yeah.
The gray, and orange, gray, and navy. And then they have here they put it on,
Yeah.
and they have here written, season ticket holders are getting each one a scarf. And this goes to the Ontario, California team.
This is Ontario, California. It's a hockey team, hey?
A hockey team in California.
Ah.
Okay,
I didn't
Ontario,
even know there was an
California.
Ontario,
And then
California.
when this team wins, they cheer. They cheer with this. The competitiveness has to do with the product. For example, in hockey socks, I remain competitive. Hockey socks is made locally, and it is a tough market. Sometimes price is an issue, but a lot of times when they ask for this fast delivery, price is not that of an issue. It's more getting the product. That's how we stay. And also we have to import also because of competition. Even my competitor is China. Not the next guy on the street. The real competitor is China. Chabanel is still called the clothing industry or whatever, but in a different way.
Right.
It's mostly importers, no manufacturers, sales offices. You don't have the workforce, because at that time you had the workforce that came to the new country.
Right.
Italians, Greeks, they all came. First thing, they went to work.
Yeah.
Now, all these kids went to school, college. These kids don't go
They don't go to work.
They don't go to work. I don't know if it's going to last forever, that it's going to stay a clothing business area.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't think so. The clothing business is never going to come back the way it was.
Right.
Never going to come back. We have to call it history.
Located in Montreal's most northerly borough, Ahuntsic-Cartierville, Chabanel is an industrial district surrounded by close-knit residential neighborhoods. Just south of Chabanel's manufacturing district is a dense residential community with well-maintained houses and charming backyards. Rue Chabanel, the area's main street, is lined with family-owned restaurants and cafes, reflective of the area's Italian heritage and vital to local business. For this reason, the city has made significant investment in Chabanel's infrastructure. New sidewalks and a new underpass beneath the commuter rail line connects to adjacent commercial activity in order to encourage greater pedestrian traffic. Despite the area's fine attributes, the garment industry has been in steady decline since the 1980s, leaving many of Chabanel's industrial spaces vacant and in serious need of new occupants. With competition in emerging markets, like China, Montreal's manufacturers have had to act creatively in order to stay competitive. Exclusive Button is a 40-year-old business specializing in producing a unique array of buttons with custom coloring. Starting at the bottom as a door-to-door salesman, Irvin Rothman now runs Exclusive Button in Montreal.
We've been here about 40+ years. It's a family-run business. I started as being one of the rookies, where I would walk from the top of a building, 11 floors down with a suitcase and knock doors, basically doing cold calls.
Nice. As a salesman?
As a salesman, plenty of doors slammed in my face. But I was persistent, and that's why I'm here. So.
Okay. And now what is your role at...
I still do the same thing. I manage the operation. I do sell, customer service, follow-up, work with people, and try to do some sales. With the internet now, it's really opened up a lot of doors. And what makes it interesting is because we have a website, so we do give you an idea what we do. But the whole look is really is to get you in here, so you can touch and feel them. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, what it is, it's an ABS with a spray pearl. And what we do is we're able to apply color to them. And what we'll do is we'll show you how it looks when we do color. And that's what you got.
Okay. So tell me what the first step is.
First step is we're gonna boil the water, apply the powder, apply the promoter, give it about a minute or two to boil. Then we'll throw the buttons in and we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, are these the blanks here?
Yeah, these they are. We're gonna throw you in 3 different styles. And we're gonna get approximately 3 different shades of the fuchsia that we're gonna attempt to do.
Great. Manufacturers are defined as establishments engaged in the mechanical, physical, or chemical transformation of materials, substances, or components into new products. Many of the buttons Irvin dyes here in Montreal are made at Exclusive's Toronto factory. And then this is the rinsing stage?
Yeah, we rinse the buttons here before we throw them in the dryer, which allows us to dry the buttons. And the longer we leave them in the solution, the darker we get the button.
Gotcha. Very uniform. Looks nice.
There you go. Oh, one more.
Thanks.
After we rinse these buttons off, we're gonna bring them into the dryer. We're gonna let them spin for about a minute or so. Gonna take all the dampness off and get to be dry.
So is it important for you to keep the business in Montreal?
Yeah, because Montreal is a trendsetter. There's a lot of different things that are happening, upcoming designers. We're a little bit on the cutting edge. It is Central City, Chabanel. Things have changed, so we've branched out where we have to go to see the customer, where before the customer came to us, but it's all over the city now.
Like Exclusive Button, McGill Hat is a family business, but one that is undergoing a generational shift. Having made hats for nearly 40 years, Marvin Shostak is passing on the business to his son, Jared. Marvin, could you give us a brief history of your business?
Well, it goes back about 100 years. It was owned by Mr. Isidore McGill, and it was taken over by his son-in-law, Jack Jacobson, about 60 years ago, and I took over the company. And my son was finishing school, university, and I wouldn't take him in until he graduated. And as soon as he graduated, I asked him if he wanted to come into the business, and he said to me basically, "Why did you wait so long to ask me?" And before I knew it, within 3 months, he was basically doing everything here. He wouldn't let me answer the phone. He wouldn't let me do anything. He'd send me home because I was bothering him. And I says, "Okay, you're on your own, mister, do what you want."
I've always had a hat collection of 20, 30 hats at home at all times since I was a kid, and I've loved them.
Okay, Joe, which one's your favorite hat?
My favorite hat? That's a good question. I really like this one. I like the shape of it. I like the contrast that we came up with for the ribbon and the ribbon on the edge. I'm a smaller hat person. I don't like the big hats. I like it small, I like it short.
Bet it looks good on you. Yeah, that looks good.
Like that. It's a little bit big, but
smart.
Wear it like that, up. A lot of people now, celebrities, they like to wear them to the sides a little bit. All sorts. So. We have shapes and rubber plugs. They go into the hydraulics. It's basically hot air and pressure.
Yeah.
Goes inside, gives it the shape, gives it the pinch, gives it the final shape that it needs to be.
Okay.
And from here it goes on and it gets sanded, which gives it the smoothness, and start cutting the brims. I'm currently expanding into the US. I'm doing much more US market. McGill Hats never did any US, it was always Canadian based. I eventually want to try and get into Europe a little bit. There's a huge market in Australia, so I'm just a little bit at a time, and that's where I see it.
What is it about doing business in Montreal, or the Chabanel specifically, that might be interesting?
Machinery and buildings are all 100 years old. No, but seriously, it's got a character. You see everything that, unfortunately, some businesses have gone and left, but everyone that's still here, everyone has a story to tell. Everyone's here and they've been around, and
Right.
It's just, thank you, it's pride, and everything is history here.
Chabanel has endured many changes. The area is still home to nearly 300 garment industry factories. Speaking from experience, all of these manufacturers are run by intrepid business people just like the folks in this episode. These are the people responsible for what is made in Montreal.